trumpeter extraordinaire, ordained minister of the gospel of Jesus Christ, fervent missionary, or better yet, musicianary. A man with a passion for God's Word, God's work, and God's worship. This is the essence of trumpeter Don Shire. Since he left the business world in 1995, Don Shire has followed God's call to minister to countless people across America and around the world with the message that Jesus saves through his infectious, inspiring music and missions trips to numerous locations scattered across the globe. Whether in concert in a cozy church sanctuary or a large auditorium, at a missions conference or an evangelistic outreach, whether in California or Virginia, Wisconsin or Louisiana, Don's music reaches to the heart of those in attendance with the love of Jesus Christ and the challenge to follow him in service. Don's motto for ministry is simple: to follow God wherever he leads him. This talented, yet humble servant of Christ has ministered in many countries in North and South America, Europe, the Middle East, Asia, East and West Africa. Don Shire Ministries has erected and is funding orphanages in India and Honduras. In 1997, Don and his wife Kathy formed Don Shire Ministries, a not-for-profit mission organization to offer short-term mission opportunities to anyone led by the Lord to serve others in foreign lands. Don's heart cry to follow God wherever he leads him is a reality seen not only in his foreign mission service, but also on his concert calendar. Don tries to respond to each request that comes in from churches and organizations, no matter the size or location.
God has given me a trumpet to play. But above that, He's really given us some marching orders. And He said, go into Shire. He says, go to Jerusalem, Judea, Samaria, and to the remotest parts of the earth. And for me, the greatest thrill is to be able to go to my Jerusalem, go right to my backyard, to go to Judea, the country around me, to Samaria, even places that I really didn't want to go. And you know what I find out is when I go, it's a blessing. There's people there that need Christ too. And to be blessed to be able to go to the remotest parts of the earth. My goal in life is not to be the best trumpet player. My goal in life is to see people come to know Christ. And the trumpet is a tool. The trumpet is what God has given me to draw people together so that I can share the gospel. And because it's music, I get to go into places that a lot of people wouldn't be allowed. And yet I get to go and share the gospel in those places. And so I think I have the best job in the world. If you think about it, to be an ambassador, a representative for the Creator of all things, the one who spoke and all this came into existence, and He says, Don, I want you to go. I want you to go represent me in this place at this time. And people ask me, well, Don, why do you go to a small church? Why? I've had agents contact me and say, Don, why are you wasting your time going to those small places? We could book you in large churches all across America. And I say, but didn't Jesus walk all day to speak to one woman at a well? And so who am I to say I am better. My ministry is more important than even Jesus' ministry was. I go where he leads, where he opens the doors, and I trust him to provide, and he continues to do it. And to me, that's what it's all about.
And on that note, that's exactly it for people to have you come to their church. All they need to do is
just contact me, invite me. I go wherever I'm asked, and that includes any country. I've been to 33 different countries as we're talking today because I was invited to those places. Not because I forced myself on them, but they invited me. I went and I did what I do here. It's the same message everywhere I go. I've performed by using music to dignitaries, and I've also been in the jungles where they've never even seen a trumpet before. But you know what? The message is the same. The message is exactly the same. People need to know Jesus.
one last question. You talked about the passion, the burning that's in your heart with respect to sharing the word and seeing that people are encouraged and come to know Christ. Speak to the passion you have for widows and orphans.
Well, the Lord has really made it very clear in James that we're supposed to minister to the needs of the widows and the orphans. And all of a sudden he began opening doors for me to do that. And I never wanted to actually be in charge of an orphanage and to be responsible for an orphanage. I like building them and helping people with their ministries, but the Lord actually led us to 40 children in India that did not have a home. And they were sleeping in the rain, and I couldn't rest. I had to do something, and yet I had very limited funds. But you know, it's one of those things where you follow God's leading, and all of a sudden He began to provide for the building. He began to provide for the food. We're in the process of hopefully drilling a well soon so they'll have fresh water. We're talking about opening up a second orphanage, rescuing children from slavery. Orphan children that have been taken in and pulled out of school and being forced to be slaves and servants. And we have 20 right now. We just started this, a lease on a building, and how is it going to happen? I don't know, except that God said do it, and so we're moving forward with it. And then at the same time, I found a place where there were 30 widows gathered together by the local church, and the widows in India are very downcast, they're just despised by people, and even their own children throw them into the streets and abandon them. There's 30 widows together, and they don't have a home. They're sleeping on a church floor. And my hope and desire is to be able to build a home for them, and we have a feeding program going for them, so at least they're eating. They were going 4 and 5 days without a meal, and now at least every day they get a meal, and we're hoping to improve on that, but hopefully to build them a home. My goal in life is not to be the best trumpet player. My goal in life is to see people come to know Christ. And the trumpet is a tool. The trumpet is what God has given me to draw people together so that I can share the gospel. And because it's music, I get to go into places that a lot of people wouldn't be allowed. and yet I get to go and share the gospel in those places. And so I think I have the best job in the world.